Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There you go. Good going. My name is Michael Smith. I'm very, very fortunate to be the chair of the Department of Social Work here at East Tennessee State University, and doubly fortunate to be a faculty member in the MSW program. This is a special day made possible by hard work on the part of the people who are sitting here, lots and lots of support from the people who are sitting there, and one would hope some guidance and maybe, just little bits of inspiration every now and then from the fine people who are sitting over here. Dizzy Dean, person many of you will not have heard of, but some of you who follow baseball back in the great days will know of, once said, "It ain't bragging if you can do it." Okay? The fact that these people are about to graduate with a master's degree does them proud, does us proud. I want to turn the attention for just a second, though, from here to here. I've been fortunate to be a full-time faculty member at 5 different universities. And only because what I'm about to say and following, I'll start with this. My first full-time job was at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. That's a prestigious school. They credit themselves with having the finest graduate social work program on the Pacific Coast. Perhaps they do, on the Pacific Coast. But I will tell you this. East Tennessee State University is the finest university I've worked at, ever. You've made a wise choice in coming here. You've made a wise choice in supporting them coming here. One of the reasons, though, that this particular university, but this particular department, this particular program stands out is because of the people who are sitting right over here to my right. This is an outstanding faculty. It is a privilege to work with them. Some people might have the mistaken impression that comradeship, collegiality, competence, commitment comes easy and easily to a social work faculty in higher education. And folks, I have to tell you this, that is not the truth. Right? This cohort of people is outstanding and significant in the universe of American social work departments nationwide. With that in mind, I'd like, in no particular order, as I call their names, if you would please stand or gesticulate something to show them who you are. Right? Following key people in our program. And I'm going to start, as I did earlier today with the BSW pinning ceremony, with the single most important person in our MSW program. That's Helen Jones. Sit back there. Helen is our fantastic executive assistant for the MSW program. She's been with us a couple of years. She is phenomenal. Our front office people are the best I've ever worked with in 32 years in higher education. Terrific. Thank you very much, Helen. On the stage, Dr. Betsy Randall. Dr. Bruce Dalton. And you might not know it, but Bruce has a terrible cold right now. Watch the people. So those of you who are thinking of marking this occasion with a kiss to Dr. Dalton, think twice. Think twice. Okay? Mary Ellen Cox. Donna Cherry. Cheryl Bates. Brittany Wilkins. Jane Moss Brady. And for those of you who are friends and relatives of our graduates, you probably don't know this, but Jane is the director of our field education component, the internship program here in the MSW program, and oversees in a general way the internship program and the BSW program as well. Glenda Short. Jonathan Hartzell. And I'd like to pay special attention to somebody who couldn't be here today because he's attending to a family issue, and that's our very, very excellent director of our MSW program, Dr. Kelly Reith. Also on the stage, and you'll be hearing from her in a short period of time, is our Superior Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, Dr. Cecilia McIntosh. This isn't about me. This is about you. This is a celebration that begins a full 24 hours of such kind of celebration for yourselves. As a dear departed friend of mine once said, a similar kind of occasion, in a way that was very, very pertinent given our calendar. Today and tomorrow, this is for you. Sunday's for your moms. Okay? Thank you. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Donna Cherry, and as Dr. Smith said, Dr. Reith unfortunately can't be here today, and he asked me to stand in for him. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for being here today and extend a big congrats to our very proud graduating class. You guys go. So I think of the big changes in my life as these threshold moments, those somewhat surreal times in life when a door opens and you cross into a new space. And for me, I never see or feel the world quite the same way again, because the experience is both intense and transformative. And for me, earning my MSW degree was one of those threshold moments, and I expect it is for each of you as well. And so in honor of this threshold moment, but also in honor of the kid in each of us that I hope that you will hang on to desperately, I want to read you a story by a very wise doctor, Dr. Seuss. And this will be the very wonderful book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. So if you're not familiar with this story, I hope you'll enjoy it. And if you are familiar with it, I hope that just sit back and soak up the words from this time point, because you'll feel differently about the words now and as you embark on this new chapter in your life. I'll try to be entertaining for this small child who's not happy. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your way, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where you go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest, except when you don't. Because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You'll get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly are dark. A place you could sprain both your elbows and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite? Or go back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useful place, the waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for a fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig of curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky, ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There's fun to be done, there are points to be scored, there are games to be won, and the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame, you'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV, except when they don't. Because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone. Whether you like it or not, alone you will be something, you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on, but on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the hawk and cracks howl. Onward up a many frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will succeed. 98.25% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name, Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Ali Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Namaste.
I'd like to take a moment to remember a very dear professor, Dr. Patty Gibbs Wahlberg. We just called her Dr. Patty. Dr. Patty served on the social work faculty at ETSU for 12 years. We lost Dr. Patty to cancer this March. And I first met Dr. Patty in 2009 when she was the director of the BSW program. At that time, I took 2 classes under her, social work values and ethics and cultural diversity. If it weren't for her influence, I would not be here today. I can say that for sure. She had a passion for teaching social work, and she wanted her students to have that same fervor in all that they aspired to do. her charisma was so inspiring. She definitely played a huge role in my decision to be a social worker. She loved life, and she knew how to suck the marrow out of it. Though she was a West Virginia girl, she dreamed of living at the beach. And I imagine today that Dr. Patty is walking on the golden shores of heaven and living her beach dream for sure. I imagine great things that Dr. Patty is looking down on us very proud today. She left this world with an extraordinary legacy that has touched her students, her coworkers, families, friends, and the field of social work. She was my mentor, and I will strive to be as good a woman and as good a social worker as Dr. Patty was. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Patty, and I dedicate this day of achievement to you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I guess this is it. I wish I had Huey Lewis in the news to play, but I guess Nicki Minaj will just have to do. I want to congratulate everyone here for not dropping out and getting married, pregnant, and/or incarcerated. It's been a wild 2 years, except for you advanced standing students who had it drastically easier. I mean, 1 year and half a summer, I've gone that long without eating solid foods. Granted, I do tend to drink my calories. I know many of you, and I've forgotten many of you, and the rest I assume I'll forget as soon as I snab that diploma. But again, it's been crazy, not unlike our clients. I began the program feeling hopeful, inspired, and I end it feeling desperate, deflated, crestfallen. But those of you who know me ought to know by now that those are my middle names. Joshua, Ryan, Jedediah, Desperate, Deflated, Crestfallen, Teddy, Rex, Claire, Fleener. In working as an intern who isn't paid, I have uncovered the so-called seedy underbelly, if you will, of human services organizations, the low or, again, in my case, no pay, the long hours, the mouthiness, the stress, the parking, the vending machines, the thankless deflation that straps your shoulders at the end of every day as you sip, gulp, from your wine thermos and count down the seconds to 4:45 because you can't even force yourself to stay the whole 8 hours. Thank you, Jane. Like everyone, I had a wonderful field experience. I really did. When I first started, I thought, grad school, social work, homework, papers? Surely not. Shirley Knox is the name of my attorney. I saddled up before entrance to the program to contest such superfluous requirements as reading and research. I mean, what is this? Club Med? No. Prior to this, I wanted to be a Harajuku girl for Gwen Stefani. When that didn't work out, I entered the MSW program at ETSU, a program that began with Jane Moss Brady's aggressive exclamation, "If you smell meth in a client's house, you better get the hell out of there." A program that began with that and ended with the #1 social worker in the region offering comedic commentary. You're so lucky. Oh yeah, and our degrees. Yeah. I wanted to highlight a few of my closest confidants in the program for a second. First, I'd like to talk about Molly Hendry, my nemesis, the hardest social worker in the program. She's beautiful. She's getting married. She's beautiful. She's getting married. She's getting married. Lisa Lane, our resolute matriarch, who, much like our own mothers, kept our minds churning and our bellies full. Toward the end of class, I would bring wet naps because I was honestly expecting some ribs or maybe a nice smoked veal slider. It never happened. And last but certainly not least, the woman who made this possible, Miss Carol Lampley. That's you! Hey! Whose optimistic, inspired volition turned jaded, stalled determination pulled off this event wonderfully. Did I mention she did it all from scratch? I really like the periodic tables, Carol. It's a good touch. So in closing, I just wanted to say that I remember Christina, where are you? There she is. She posted a meme one time, and it's one of those memes that go around Facebook, and it's like, this is what my mom thinks I do. This is what my friends think I do. This is what my gynecologist thinks I do. But honestly, there was one section of it. This is what the world thinks I do, and it was a picture of a superhero. But see, I don't agree with that because I don't think the world thinks of us. I think that we have to make them. And I'm so proud of every one of you because I think you all have the balls to do it. So, may your futures be bright. May your near future drinks be nursed. And may you stay out of harm's way. I love you all. You're all capable and wonderful human beings. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's a tough act to follow right there. And double wow, because you guys look great. And it reminds me of being here a couple years ago. And I want to just tell you, take a second and look around and have that wow moment, because you only get this one time, and I still remember it. So pause and just notice that you're here. It's just a beautiful sight. It's an honor and a privilege to be here, to be invited to speak to you and your guests, and to the faculty and staff. Hi, I'm back. Before I begin, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Mina McVeigh, and I am a graduate of the class of 2011. And I have to give you a little warning, because after graduation, I took a job here at ETSU in the counseling center, and I am the alcohol and other drug outreach coordinator. And what that means is that I do quite a bit of speaking. However, I'm usually presenting on quite a different topic than I am today. So if I lose my place, I'm going to start rambling about how many ounces of beer are in a standard drink, okay, how many drinks you should have to maintain the perfect buzz, and why it is never, never a good idea for little tiny women to match drinks with big buff men. Trust me on this one. In all seriousness, I plan to speak to you today from my heart, because I am more passionate about social work today than ever before. Let me begin with one of my favorite quotes. It is ascribed to an obscure 19th century philosopher, Henri Amiel, but it seems to me to be a clear call to social work. Life is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So be quick to love and make haste to be kind. My message for you, class of 2013, is that as social workers, I believe that we are one of the few remaining members of society whose job it is to be compassionate. In these uncertain times, when social and economic turmoil have disrupted the lives of so many people, and while our leaders are camped out at the political extremes, I believe that we, as social workers, have become the keepers of compassion. To be sure, our code of ethics demands it. Before I tell you a brief story, I want to take a closer look at what compassion really is. For if we are the keepers of compassion, we need to know what it means. It is considered one of the greatest virtues by every major world religion. And compassion literally means co-suffering. Calm meaning with, and passion meaning suffering. We show our compassion when we suffer along with someone. Yes, we do. However, it is more than just empathy. Compassion gives rise to action. It stirs the desire to alleviate suffering, that is, to help. And what are we social workers if not first and foremost helpers? As social workers, our primary mission is to help people in need. And not just some people, but all people. I have paused here to underline this important point. Social workers help all people. With all due respect, this is something that a few of our elected state officials tried to forget this year. Compassion does not ask, is this person different from me? Will I feel uncomfortable helping this person? Does helping this person require extra work? Is this person resistant or irritating? Can this person pay me? Compassion does not care whether the person needing help has the same belief system as I do. Within reason and the boundaries of good self-care, we are called to be the keepers of compassion for all people, to suffer along with our clients as we strive to help. Even better, as we strive to empower our clients to help themselves. Now let me tell you about a client who taught me about compassion, and I'm going to call her Georgia. I met Georgia during my internship, and she presented in extreme distress, and from the beginning, communication with her was difficult. Getting a good psychosocial history, near impossible. There was a childlike quality to Georgia, and she often spoke in a high-pitched voice, and she had a bit of a speech impediment. Georgia also had the habit of breaking into sobs, or, unless of course she was stomping her foot and yelling at me. I think she offended nearly everyone in our office at least one time. As a budding social worker, however, I was trained in the strengths perspective. All people have dignity and worth, and I think Georgia was sent to prove this to me. She turned out to be amazingly resilient, incredibly resourceful, and surprisingly intelligent. But she was also a big pain in the you-know-what. You see, she was a homeless drifter, and she moved from college to college, enrolling at the last minute and claiming a mix-up in her financial aid. This inevitably scored her a dorm room and a temporary meal plan. To be sure, Georgia did have a tragic past, but her plan for survival was pure genius. This year, Georgia showed up at ETSU when overflow from campus housing was put up at the Carnegie Hotel right over there. Yep. For a month, Georgia enjoyed luxury accommodations before moving on to campus. "Darn, that place is nice," she said to me one day, and that still makes me chuckle. All was not smiles, however. As her story unfolded, it became apparent that Georgia was the survivor of a truly chaotic family system, with a history of child physical and sexual abuse. And although I was often frustrated and bewildered by what seemed like a wild goose chase for basic resources, I was also often deeply touched as she shared from the darkest parts of her past. Sometimes she would even bring in psychology books from the library, that she had checked out, and we would talk about her insights. My treatment plan I threw out, as I did my schedule, because Georgia regularly showed up without an appointment in a crisis of one sort or another. Once, when my field instructor, Dr. Dalton, I love this part, he was reviewing a videotape of one of my sessions, which is what we do in my internship there, and he suddenly said, "Stop." Now, if you know Dr. Dalton, he is a man of just a few words. So when he says something, it took me by surprise. "Stop," I said. "Stop the tape and look at yourself," he said. "What are you doing?" I looked, and I had no idea what he was talking about. "What do you mean, what am I doing?" "Look at the tape and tell me what you're holding in your hand." So I looked at the tape. A pen? And he said, "And what are you doing?" I said, holding the pen?" He then proceeded to hand me a pen and told me to hold it exactly like I was holding it in the video. So I did. He said, "What are you doing?" "You are stabbing your client." And so I was, metaphorically stabbing poor Georgia, which just goes to show you how exasperating compassion can be sometimes. I wish I could tell you that this story had a happy ending, but the details are too complicated to repeat, and the truth is I don't really know what happened to Georgia. Her student loan money never did come in, and she was purged at the end of the semester. We had to say our goodbyes suddenly and quickly, and then she moved on down the road. We are social workers, after all, not saviors. The lesson? Despite the challenges of our therapeutic relationship, I came to care deeply for her, to experience true compassion for her, to suffer alongside with her for just a few miles of her journey. And I believe with all that is in me that she truly felt cared for, and that it helped in some really small way. Life is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So be quick to love, and make haste to be kind. I do not know what road each of you will travel. For most of us, graduation means a leap of faith into the great unknown. But I hope that whatever you do, you will be strengthened and encouraged by knowing that what you do is of the greatest importance. As a member of the social work profession, you are a keeper of compassion. And this is true not only for your clients, but for yourself. What we do is hard. You must not forget to fill your own heart with gladness. So in the days and weeks and months and even years ahead, please, please be kind to yourself. Have self-compassion. Be as patient and long-suffering with yourself as you would be with the client. In conclusion, I would like to read a very, very short passage from a letter of encouragement written by my BSW intern this year. She wrote it to herself at the beginning of the semester. She is also graduating this weekend, and as a goodbye ritual, she asked me to open it and read it to her on her last day of work. And I have permission to share from it. It is an excellent example of compassion, and I hope that you will take her words with you tonight. I know that this is a scary transition into the professional world of social work. Change is always scary, and it is okay to be unsure of things. Just remember that you are capable and competent. It just takes a little time to learn the new role. Congratulations to you, class of 2013. May the journey ahead be filled with joy. Thank you.
We're almost to the best part. I want to welcome the graduates and the families East Tennessee State University has many excellent graduate programs that provide opportunities for students to pursue more in-depth study in a discipline. They seek out graduate programs to enhance their knowledge, to obtain higher level practice skills, to qualify for a new career, and or to qualify for career advancement, among other reasons. We can't emphasize enough the importance of graduate education to the community and to the quality of life within it. Certainly, the education of highly qualified professionals in social work has an impact on improving the lives of the citizens in our region and beyond. Graduates from ETSU's nationally accredited Master of Social Work program are significant contributors to this mission. So I want to take 20 seconds to applaud the graduate students being hooded today for choosing to apply to this excellent MSW program at ETSU. I want to congratulate you for being accepted into this rigorous program, for not everybody that applies is accepted. Many are not. And I want to commend you for completing the program and for earning your master's in social work. So I'm pleased to help recognize you this evening. I'll be honored to shake your hands again tomorrow as you cross the stage during commencement. Thank you, and now we will proceed to introducing the graduates.
Vanessa Ellen Addington, hooded by Dr. Smith. Christina Arwood, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Amber Nicole Ball, hooded by Dr. Cherry and Dr. Randall. Laura Dawn Bays, hooded by Dr. Bates. Mindy P. Bowman, hooded by Dr. Dalton. Mary Rebecca Lyle Brown, hooded by Sean Brown, her husband. Ashley Coles, hooded by Dr. Dalton. Whitney Brooke Cope, hooded by Jane Moss Brady. Josh Fleener, hooded by Dr. Cox. Holly Nicole Feltrich, hooded by Dr. Cherry and Jane Moss Brady. Doranita Francis, hooded by Dr. Randall. Rose Gang, hooded by Dr. Wilkins and Dr. Bates. Kimberly Dawn Garland, hooded by Dr. Nancy Dishner, her mother-in-law. Layla Haverlock, hooded by Dr. Randall. Molly Teresa Hendry, hooded by Jane Moss Brady. Ashley Renee Johnson, hooded by Dr. Dalton. Brandy Marie King, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Matthew Nicely, hooded by Dr. Short. Carol Faye Lampley, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Brandy Lachey Lane, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Lisa Ann Lane, hooded by Sandy Thorpe, Jane Moss Brady, and Dr. Cherry. Tammy Lawson, hooded by Dr. Dalton. Marcia Lynn Music, hooded by Dr. Smith. Laura Pepper Weiler, hooded by Dr. Smith. Alicia Brooke Rife, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Allison Heather Sherfy, hooded by Karen Russell, her mother. Catherine B. Strauss, hooded by Jane Moss Brady. April L. Tussing, hooded by Dr. Randall. Mary Elizabeth Van Huss, hooded by Dr. Randall. Vu, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Erica Walker, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Julie Nicole Waters, hooded by Dr. Wilkins. Amy Willingham, hooded by Dr. Short, Jane Moss Brady, and Dr. Cherry. Those graduates unable to attend tonight include Carolyn Connerly, Michelle Fleming, Jocelyn Brooke Michael, Richard Valenti, and Karen Williams.
Let us pray. Mother, Father, God, universal power, remind us daily of the sanctity of all life. Touch our hearts with the glorious oneness of all creation as we strive to respect all the living beings on the planet. Penetrate our souls with the beauty of this earth as we attune ourselves to the rhythm and flow of the seasons. Awaken our minds with the knowledge to achieve a world in perfect harmony, and grant us the wisdom to realize that we can have heaven on earth. Amen. Just have a few words here from Ram Dass. On this path, social work, we will stumble, fall, and often look and feel a little foolish. We are confronting long-standing patterns of thought and action, compassion for ourselves, perspective, humor. These are all our allies. The reward, the real grace of conscious service, then, is the opportunity not only to help relieve suffering, but to grow in wisdom, experience greater unity, and have a good time while we're doing it. Will everyone rise for the recessional?